Chill, dog, word up. Be all showing y'all my weed cart, you feel me? Got this weed cart. That be all mean, you know, you can use medical marijuana up in the hood. If your hood is Washington, RCW 69.51A, word. We represent that shit up in the hood. That make us so we legal, you feel me? No laws being broken and shit, dog. Word. Weed cart. Medical recommendation. Word. I had to say that because I'm so, you know, I thought it was annoying when I first got my rec and everyone was saying, oh, you got a green card. No, I was born in America. I don't need a fucking green card. Which, the only reason I be a smartass like that is it's fucking confusing. You know, when someone asks if you have a green card, and most of the world, or most of America, knows a green card as immigrating to the U.S. and being legal, as opposed to having a recommendation that says you can use marijuana, which happens to be green. Not the recommendation, the marijuana is green, so they call it a green card. You know, back when I first got my rec, people would call dispensaries the Green Cross, even though it had nothing to do with the Green Cross. I did go to one. The one that I liked, my favorite one I talked about, that was a member of the Green Cross, and there was like four. There was like 4 dispensaries, and I think that was all of them. Really, there was it was the one that Steve Sarich ran before. I don't know if he still runs it or whatever, but it was back when he had that shotgun incident where those guys broke in his house and he killed them or whatever. You guys can refresh me on, I don't remember if he killed him or shot him. Either way, he got a gun from him and shot him. I believe he said he got the gun from them because he couldn't have the gun, but then the cops came in his house and said, oh, you've got 250 plants, you're going to jail or whatever, even though they were 250 cuttings. And yeah, that's exactly what it said on the news too. A rob at a large size 250 plant marijuana grow, $200,000 a year's worth of marijuana in there because they're doing the math of each of those plants yielding out as weight in this house. Now, whenever you hear that and then you see the house that they say that they did that in, where'd the motherfucker walk? How the fuck did he get in that? How do you open the door with that many plants in that house? Because there were fucking cuttings in a closet. You're about to see me take my first dab of the day. I never do this. I usually will take a nap or something and wake up and take a dab, or dab at like 4, leave and come back at like 10 and take a dab, but right now it's 5 a.m. I've been up for about 40 minutes. I haven't hit anything yet. So yeah. Do this good. Man, that DaVinci, so I shot the review of it, and I'm going to edit it and upload it at some point, maybe tomorrow or something. Don't count on that, but I might. But the thing is, I asked Archie where the other one was at the shop. Ooh, that almost sucked. I asked Archie where the other one was at the shop, and he said that someone sold it and that he needs me to bring the other one back so they can send it in and get the new one. And that kind of bummed me out, so if I forget to bring it in today, then that means I'll still have it until Tuesday. And the reason I want to have it until Tuesday is whenever I go to my doctor, like even when I went to the weed doctor out in Silverdale, the day before yesterday, I brought that DaVinci with me, had it fully charged, and I was able to vape 3 bowls. It did die on the 3rd bowl, I won't lie. But that's only because I was like talking on the phone for a couple bowls, and I had to actually turn it back on after the 10-minute timer went off. So first dab, if I throw up, sorry. My stomach's always fucked up in the morning, but cheers. It takes seriously like 2 seconds to hit me, like right there now. You inhale the dab, you exhale it. It hasn't taken full effect. And the blood from your lungs hasn't hit your brain yet. It's still pumping into my, like right now, you know, it's not peaked for a good, 15 seconds after you've exhaled your hit. When I haven't like seriously, like 0 cannabinoids in my system. I mean, other than like minuscule shit. I'm sure if I got pulled over, I get a DUI. Well, now for sure. Before that dab, I probably still would have, because there's this one lady. Well, her metabolism doesn't look like she's too fast because she's quite heavy, but she smokes 1 joint a night, and she smoked a joint that night. 10 hours later, she went to the doctor the next morning. They gave her an evaluation and deemed her to be sober, and then drew her blood, and she was double the legal limit for driving. I don't know if she was telling the truth. This was just a lady at the panel, on a panel at Hip Fest, up there with the guy that got the domestic violence. But I still look up to him. I think he's an awesome dude. I use his voice a lot. Medicinal Cannabis. It's his name's. He runs Took to the Town. I'm trying to think. He's the guy that got up at Hemp Fest. Coralfish has a video of it. Steve Elliott. He's like, yeah, I just want to tell all you guys right now that cannabis protects your brain cells. So I just want to let any of you know, if you plan to go and get drunk, please smoke a joint before you get drunk to protect your brain cells from that alcohol. That's how the dude talks. But he moved up to Washington, and now he works for I think it's the Seattle Weekly, and that's the same company that owns the Westward. If you guys know the Westward in Denver, you know William Breeds does the reviews. I don't know if he still does, but he used to. He was the first paid marijuana reviewer in the world. Followed by Steve Elliott. Steve Elliott likes to joke. He goes, yeah, my job, I get paid to go around to dispensaries and try out marijuana. And I work really hard, guys. I am really good at my job. And he says that to get his laughs. But, was I talking about the dab? So, it takes a second to kick in. So that's the reason I really can't smoke flower for nausea, because it takes multiple hits before I actually get enough to do what I need to be done. And when I'm hacking on tar, I mean, just that burnt taste, I wouldn't be able to hit this by any means in the morning all nasty like that. I'd have to, you know, if I hit a brand new clean piece, I used to do that when I was on a good one and I was able to smoke in the morning. I was doing that. I was cleaning up my piece and everything and hitting some flour in the morning. I wouldn't do a snap, but I would do a little bit. I did one day when I had that sour tsunami. I woke up and the first thing I did is I took a snap of that because I wanted to see level, no cannabinoids in my blood, if I felt it at all, and I didn't. So, but you shouldn't. It had 0.33 on the THC. It didn't even have 1% THC. Let me load up the bowl and the vape. I got some Frankenstein OG. Oh no, I don't. It's gone. Damn it, Archie had ground some up in my grinder at work yesterday. And I told him I love you using my grinder here, because when I get to go home, I open it up and I get a surprise. Because he never finishes what's in there. I'm going to go in on this Kim Dog. Stuff's amazing. Someone mentioned that I don't do melt shots and close-ups anymore. Yeah, the reason I don't do melt shots is really, I haven't smoked in 2 weeks. I haven't burnt any flower for any reason. Not even take a hit off a pipe, off a joint, nothing. Oh, I take that back. I did smoke a joint in the WakeNbake, but I think that was seriously it. This thing hasn't been hit in almost 3 weeks. I've been vaping every bit of herb that I got. The close-ups though, the reason I don't show the close-ups is these videos aren't edited, these WakeNbakes, and the way the camera's set up with the lighting, I have to move it because, like, look at my hand. See, I've got lighting on my hand, and if I want to get closer, 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 the lighting goes away. Okay, so you wouldn't be able to see the bud good. Now, say I'm out here and I zoomed in with the camera. Now, anytime you zoom in, it takes away from the quality. Optical zoom is a little better, like I have. Digital zoom is fucked. Never use digital zoom, ever. I mean, if you have to and you have a camera with digital zoom, and you're someone that needs to zoom, you probably should have invested in a better camera. Spent more than 60 bucks, or not be using your cell phone. Pretty much, I mean, this is not any logic behind this, but I'll just give you an idea. When you see the lens on these cell phone cameras, see how tiny they are? Any camera, even like the little flip cameras, when they have that tiny ass lens, I don't know how to explain it, but they suck. A camera that actually is decent enough to let enough light in there to actually use every pixel, because these say they're 1080p, but they're not. You know, and the way you can find out is by filming in a low lit room. You see all these like speckles and shit across the screen. Whenever you watch something filmed in low light on a cell phone or taking a picture, you see like all these speckles, and that's the camera making up pixels because they can't get them. Because it's not big, the lens isn't big enough to let them in for something. I can't explain it, but there's supposed to be that many little things or whatever in there that's supposed to take in light and see what you saw through the lens and take the picture. Like right now, it's taking 29.97 pictures every second. Every second that this video rolls, it takes that many pictures of me sitting here talking. So if the light's low, even with this camera it'll do it. It'll fill up those pixels with shit that's not even really in the video. It's just, and that's why it looks so shitty. So even the camera that we're filming on now, the lens is about, if I measured it, like if I was looking at the lens like it was a screen and I went diagonal, it'd probably be 1 1/4 inch. But if I whip out my $1,000, it's a $1,900 camera, it still retails for. I've got it in a Pelican case. It's if you want to check it out, it's a Sony FX7. Let me just grab it in a minute. I can't use it because, God, I don't want to say this because I'm going to have more of you guys that haven't heard me say this before trying to help me out like before. Because I've said this 3 times, and every time I say it, I get new people trying to help me out. Okay, please, I understand you might think you have the answer. Sorry, but it takes FireWire is the only way to get the video onto the computer, okay? I registered my Vegas 10 or Vegas 11, whatever the newest one is, the one Sub has. I registered that on my PC right here. This one that has no FireWire, it's a laptop. Now, I understand that there's USB to FireWire adapters. Have one, doesn't work. I understand that there's FireWire cards. You can't change that in a laptop. I understand that there's cards that slide into, you know, back before they had the USB internet things. You know, they have the things for your internet, the modems like Verizon that puts in USB and it folds up. It looks like a flash drive. And it picks up internet, your 4G internet. Before they had those, they had the ones that were cards, and there's actually a cutout slot on the side of the laptop, and those cards slide in and have the antenna. If your laptop has that slot, then there are, one of my subscribers sent me a link to one on Amazon. There are things that slide in and they have the FireWire port. Archie's laptop has the small FireWire port. So I'm actually able to use this jack on Archie's computer, because my camera has the same size jack on its side, the small end. Now, the big end of the FireWire looks like a USB. This one's a double small end. The big end looks like a USB. The only difference is it's not flat on both corners. You know, it's rectangle shaped. It's not flat on both of these ends. The FireWire one's triangle on one end. My camera, it does have HDMI, but that's only for putting it onto a computer, or putting it onto a TV. My computer has a HDMI, so I went out and bought a $30 HDMI cord, and the thing is, it doesn't go in, it's out. So it's so I can go from my computer to a TV, and my camera so I can go from my camera to a TV. It's not to go in to the computer. The only way I can really get video on my computer is not in HD. It'd be in 480, and that'd be by using my AV plugs with my S-Video to make it a little bit better. And that's in red, yellow, and white, you know, like PlayStation and shit, before they had the HDMI. So that's too low quality, especially for, I wouldn't go and buy a 1080i fucking $2,000 camera and go and buy a $350 lens to shoot in standard definition. That's just stupid. Considering we're in HD right now, and I'm on a motherfucking $150 Fred Meyer camera. That's why I don't believe I need to, that's why I don't use my camera, but I'll whip it out for you. Any of you that skateboard, you know this design, this whole size. If you've seen the VX 1000s and the VX 2000s and the VX 2100s, it's that shape, with the handle on top, with the stereo mic on the end of the handle. It's got the record and zoom buttons up on top of it with the handle. It's got a fold-out LCD screen like this one, and it is 16:9. It's not 4:3. The reason the VX is kind of obsolete right now is it's standard definition and 4:3. Even though it's a fucking 1995 camera, it's still the standard. Well, 2 years ago it was. People are pretty much using them cameras like Sub and Medicropper have, them DSLR picture taking cameras. They're using those to film action sports, believe it or not, and they're having good results. And that's what a bake gets you like a dab. Where's my... Get that flash in front of your eyes like someone took a picture with the flash on. I don't know what that is. I think really it has to do with just taking a big hit. I don't think it really has to do with being high, because I think it has to do with the blood flow through your eyes. I really think it does. Once again, this is Brett Maverick's crazy mind concocted shit. Disclaimer, that was no science based, what I just said. I do mention that whenever there's something that I just thunk up, I mention, I just thunk this up. I don't do that whole Matt Rice shit where I say it's science. But here's the actual camera. There is a lens cover that comes out and looks, you know, kind of like, you know, regular beta cams, and then most of these 3CCD cameras do have that. Or no, this isn't 3CCD. This is 3CMOS. 3CCD would be standard definition, and that's a 3-chip something something. This is also 3-chip, but it's 3CMOS. The one we're filming on now is just CMOS. The main thing I like about this shape of the camera is, you know, the DSLRs do focus out here too, but the thing, or this is the, this one's the zoom, this bar, and this is focus. Now we also got the zoom toggle right here, and another zoom toggle right here. This one's set at low sensitivity. So if I want to zoom fast and shit, I can do it like this, but if I want to like slowly zoom out, I'll use this one. But a more professional person would control the actual speed by going like this. But to me, if you just jerk this barely, it goes and you zoom out way far. A lot of the lenses that go on the DSLRs, when you're just even focusing, it makes this sound as the lenses are moving in there, and it's fucking annoying. So if you're trying to film something and keep your audio and you're zooming and focusing, isn't that pleasant to the person watching the video? So not to mention the way that they do focus. It's really, really crisp, sharp focus, which means if you're trying to film something like this as opposed to like this, you'll actually only focus on a tiny bit of it. Telescopic Stoner's actually going to school to be a, I don't know if I should just say people's information, but he's actually going to school to be a cinematographer and knows way more of this shit than I do. All this shit that I've learned is like secondhand from people like him. I did take some TV production. I took regular, and then I took advanced, and then I took advanced again. And I also was the teacher's assistant for another advanced class, because that I just got to pretty much sit there and do nothing. But here's what it looks like with the depth lens on it. And this is just a 0.28 fisheye, 0.3, yeah, 0.3. So it might just be baby depth. I don't know. Someone will tell me. But this is epic. I want to turn this on and show you guys. Oh. Battery's dead. It's been left on this entire time. Oh, nope, it went off. Here's what that lens does. Oh, I can just do this. I've got one for the camera you're on, actually. Oh, we're about out of time. But here's a miniature one from the same company. And these are cheap companies. You know, someone might talk shit and go, you got a cheap fisheye. Well, I don't professionally film with it. Why the fuck would I care if it's a professional fisheye when I'm not doing professional work? And it doesn't fit it correctly. Mainly because I just got the rings that it's screwed into duct taped to the front of the camera, because there is no threads. And I usually use manual focus with it, but as you see, my what do you call that? It's way, what fits in the screen is way more. The thing with filming with these is it makes your plants look tiny.
If you're above them, it makes them look tiny. If you're below them, it makes them look huge. Jameson used to film with one.